All right, I have absolutely no clue what to expect from this. This is a 4-grain. What is it? Corn, wheat, rye, malted barley.
Yes, it's a true 4-grain.
So I've wanted to try the regular Penelope, but it's 80 proof, and at $35, I would rather buy Bourbon at 90. But this, as a cask strength, I would not hesitate to try this.
Yes.
Because this is the purest form of whatever we're about to get.
Yes.
We don't know what we're getting from this.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Sweet, bready. Like...
Almost like the breadiness almost reminds me of like a pretzel dough.
This reminds me of a cinnamon roll.
Like
a cinnamon roll with icing. Or an Annie Ann's cinnamon pretzel.
Yeah, I can see that. That's sort of what I was getting at. Is
yeah,
like,
I can see that.
Like when you're walking by an Annie Ann's and you smell a pretzel,
yeah.
That's what I'm smelling here.
Yep. Oh, man.
Woo. I'm excited for this. I had no clue what to expect, but this
Let's see. Sweet and spicy.
Wow.
It's real sweet and spicy.
I know, this is an interesting blend where you get both simultaneously and you can pick them apart, but they work together.
Honestly, if you could picture DNA, this is sweet and spicy as DNA.
Yeah. Yeah. This is...
Because they're so closely intertwined that
having not known what to expect from this, I am incredibly surprised.
Yeah, this is a really, really... So for $60, this is really fucking good.
Yes, it is.
This is fantastic.
Because how often can you get a cask strength for $60, excluding makers? Because we're also keeping my makers a little lower.
So this is $115.
$115. So you get like...
You can get Wild Turkey. You can get makers.
How much this was?
60.
60?
Old Forester. That actually sounds about right. That's
actually it's I call it about on par with 1920.
So yeah, it punches...
In terms of quality and how much I like it.
It punches right in its weight class. This is...
Yeah. This, like, for a brand that I have never heard of in my life...
This competes really well.
It does. Like, I actually think I like this better than 1920. I think I like this better than
1920 being my favorite Old Forester, by just a little bit. I do love the 1910 of what I've tried, because I know there's the 150th and there's other stuff.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried a single barrel before. But I might have to agree. This might beat out any Old Forester product for me, if I'm being honest.
I don't know if it beats out 1910, but like this definitely...
Well, keeping in mind for me that I like 1920 a little bit more.
Yeah.
See, I think this beats out 1920. It's hard to compare because, again, we're comparing a double oak to a cask strength.
Right.
But
see, I think I like 1870 better than I like 1910.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a very interesting one.
That is a very interesting take on the Old Forester.
One of these times we're going to do the lineup, because we have the bottles to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
You have the 1870? Oh, we have all of them then, yeah.
We both have 1870. I have 1897.
I forgot you got a bottle of 1870.
Yeah, because it was ringing up wrong at the store, and it was ringing up for $20, remember?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
I scored one before they fixed it.
Fuck you, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Well, my boss texted me.
I paid $45.
He called me. And he's like, "Hey, it's ringing up wrong." And I'm like, "Well, here's what I would probably do." He's like, "I'm not calling you for how to fix it. I'm calling you so that you come down and buy one before we."
That's a good dude right there.
And I'm like, "All right, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna come down there. I'm gonna buy a bottle, and then you can send the email to fix it."
That's a solid boss right there.
Dude,
hey, we have a problem with the system. Take advantage of the system before we fix it.
Dude, he's awesome. But back to Penelope.
So
again,
breaking down the notes. We have to break down the notes.
Yes.
We haven't done that yet. We've talked about how great it is.
We went about how much we were surprised by it. We haven't gone over what we're getting.
So I actually do get like the white vanilla cream that they put on like cinnamon rolls.
Mm-hmm. Like icing almost.
Yes.
Like that particular type of
There's an icing sweetness with obviously cinnamon. There's a ton of cinnamon on this.
Yes.
But not in the same way that Weller's has it. Weller's has a very cinnamon, almost a cinnamon bark, cinnamon stick taste.
This is like, and I wouldn't call this like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or brown sugar cinnamon kind of cinnamon either. It's like right in the middle.
It's like, do you know what the difference between like confectioner's cinnamon and Saigon cinnamon is?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Saigon cinnamon is like red hot cinnamon.
Right.
And that's what I'm getting out of this, minus the candy part.
Right.
You get the sweet heat, but not the candy part of this.
Agreed.
And then you still get that doughiness somehow. I don't know how. It might be the blend of like rye and wheat. But this is a fantastic bottle.
This is $60. Fuck, I win this. Win this for wanting to look for it. I mean,
for the price range and the proof point, this might be my favorite for where it stands.
and considering again, we went into this not knowing anything about the brand other than people say it's pretty good.
And it stacks up with the line.
I knew no notes about this. I just knew it existed, and I knew that if I was going to try Penelope, I was going to try the Cask strength because I knew this was going to be what it was going to be. And it fits right the fucking... So, this video is going to be uploaded separate from some of these other ones. Here's some of the ones that this is lined up with tonight. Garrison Brothers Balmorea, both Makers Private Selects, Baker's 7-year...
Small batch.
Or 7-year small batch, yes. High West Fumé Blanc store pick, and Blackened, all of which, as you've probably seen at this point, we loved. And this fits right in exactly where we put it. This is a lineup where I can't pick because I love all of them for so many different reasons. None of these are the same.
I mean, I can only say that I like the Balmora and the Makers a little bit better just because I prefer richer, sweeter, spicy notes versus fruity notes.
I guess I can pick a personal favorite versus
personal
which
favorite,
is
yeah.
better. This I'm surprised how up there this is though.
This is really fucking good for something I've never heard of before.
I'm really glad that you said you were at 47 and I happened to ask if they had this in stock. This was like Penelope never came up. I was just like, do they happen to have this? It's been catching my eye long enough, and
I'm glad that I said, fuck it, I'm going to take care of you and buy this for you in advance, and you can take care of anything later.
Yeah, and then, of course, it ends up that you're getting Redbreast 12 Cask strength, which is
something that I wanted, and I didn't even...
I was going to say, in that aspect, from a monetary aspect and from a what we wanted aspect, you probably won that anyway.
I won from like a monetary aspect, but I think from a value aspect, you may have won this out.
It's so close though.
I haven't tasted the Redbreast yet, so we don't know.
Yeah, but wow. For $60, this is a steal, in my opinion.
I need to see what it says on here. Penelope Bourbon Barrel Strength pushes the boundaries of our signature 4-grain balanced flavor profile. This batch was blended from 3 bourbon mash bills that are aged a minimum of 43 months in new American oak barrels.
That's
each barrel,
young too. That's kind
it
of
is
impressive.
young. Like, there's a lot of sweetness for how young it is.
It's not even a 4-year.
Let's see.
By that.
No.
On average, it's not even 4 years, and it stacks up with things that have aged twice as long.
Each barrel was carefully hand-selected and blended into a single batch to create this unique offering. Non-chill filtered. Non-chill filtering is what helps
That
it.
has something to do with it.
That fucking does it.
Yep.
Now, obviously, non-chill filtering isn't going to completely change everything about it, but it
adds so much.
It adds enough that it put this up there with everything else we've tried.
For sure.
I am so pleasantly surprised, and I'm really glad I asked you if they had this. Because, wow.
I'm really wondering if I go back tomorrow and pick up a bottle after I go to jiu-jitsu.
Right?
I'm really wondering if I pick up a bottle after training tomorrow. There's
Yeah,
one left there.
115.8, batch 6. It's made in Bardstown, which is worth noting, but it's made by Penelope Bourbon Bottling Company, so it's not sourced. This is their stuff. Well, at 4 years, I would expect it to be theirs and not sourced.
Yeah, whenever it's
But
that age, you can't assume it to be sourced.
They have so much potential with this.
All right, so...
Like, honestly, maybe I should get the regular 80 proof small batch, because maybe I'll like the flavor of that enough to
It might be
justify
that
it
good.
35.
I'm curious, because like I'm not a fan of 80 proof whiskeys, but
at
this
30
makes me curious.
Yeah, because if this has that flavor, and it's their own stuff, and it's aged the same amount of time, I mean, watering it down changes it significantly, but it can't change it so much that that's bad.
Dude, craft whiskey is very quickly changed. Like, they have changed my opinion very quickly, because that Balmora is craft.
Balmora,
Balcones is craft.
Garrison Brothers, Balcones, Penelope, New Riff, Rabbit Hole.
I'm very quickly being changed opinions.
Hell,
that 291. That 291 is craft.
Even with me, with PA, McLaughlin, while being hit or miss in terms of the regular bourbon, it still makes me see why craft has its place as well.
But that fucking sample he gave us that hadn't been filtered at all.
The non-filtered cask strength sample.
Oh.
Now, granted, you're talking big money.
Well,
Because,
yeah.
of course, they don't make a ton of it. You're talking $200 a bottle. But,
That was what Balmora was.
yeah, $200 a bottle. I mean, I would still, I think, pick Balmora.
I'd pick
but
Balmora,
wow,
but
that
holy
McLaughlin
shit.
was good still.
Holy shit! Like
It's worth going down there and asking if you can try
But
it.
like, it was
Yeah.
the level of unfiltered, but it still had little bits of char in it.
Yeah, it was, because it's still young. But again, they got flavor going for them. They really do.
It really
I need to
But
get to McLaughlin because I've
this
tried
is-
their stuff and it's really good. Their moonshine is also fantastic, by the way.
is.
It really is.
But yeah, just to wrap up, this blew every expectation I had out of the water because this fits right in with
We
everything
had
else we've tried.
no idea if this was even going to stack up with everything else, and it does.
I didn't know if it was going to stack up with the Blacken, which was, wow, fantastic, the weakest of everything we've had here.
I want to try this again whenever it's not like at the end of a lineup. I want to try this in its purest form.
Right, because that's something to keep in mind too. We've tried how many things before this?
6?
And this is the neck pour.
True.
So I wonder how it's going to change, and like there's so many variables too.
Yeah.
And the way I see it, usually with neck pours, there's no way this gets significantly worse. It has to improve, in my opinion. It's very rare that after the neck pour it doesn't improve.
I've only had one bottle that does
And
it.
that was again Maker's Mark 101.
That's the only product from Maker's Mark that I don't like, and Maker's, I hate you for doing that. But I love everything else. I love you, Makers.